matter what I do, I'm the villain. So do my side, but you...
Welcome back to All Eyes on Me podcast. This is Divinity, your host, and today we've got Greg in the house. Say hi.
Hi, it's me.
This is his very first podcast.
Yes, it is. I'm very excited that you were my first one to pop my cherry.
Yeah, pop.
Pop away.
I am so happy that you're here. We met the night of a show
I think
in
it was
LA.
like Jesse and Friends.
Yes.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a great night.
It was an artist collective. There's a lot of people performing.
Yeah.
And I was drawn to you and I was like, oh, this guy is somebody I want to be friends with. So
And here we are.
Yeah. I just did the whole, went up to you and I was like, I have a podcast. Do you want to be on it? I think you're cool.
And I was like, I would be honored.
Oh my gosh.
First off, I was sold by the tattoos and the hair. And then
yes.
your name was Divinity. I was like, first
Work.
off, you're about to kill me. Like, you're making me obsessed.
It's like, it's giving suck my soul out, but like, I'll say thank you.
Like, really, please.
Okay, so let's start with, are you from LA?
I am not,
Okay.
no.
Where are you from?
I want you to guess because a lot of people never know. So where do you think I'm from?
I know that we bonded over East Coast love. Are you from...
I will give you a hint. It's not the East Coast.
I was just about to say, I feel like you would do so well in Brooklyn, but I don't
That's
think
where
you're
I
from
lived.
Brooklyn.
I love Brooklyn.
But you did live
I
in Brooklyn.
love Brooklyn. I
Okay.
wish I grew up there. I would be such a bad bitch.
You are, though.
Thank you.
Go to Brooklyn right now and just own it. Take it over.
Yes.
I bet you're from Maine.
Absolutely the fuck not. No. No offense to anyone from Maine.
We love you.
I'm from a worse place, actually.
Okay.
I'm from Texas.
Shut up.
Yeah.
That's not the East
It's
Coast.
definitely not. That's why I said.
You don't give me Texas energy at all.
Thank you. Thank
You like
so
genuinely
much.
give me East Coast energy.
Thank you.
How?
Again, thank you.
Oh my
Keep
God,
saying
wait.
this.
Don't tell anybody from Texas.
You know what? But it makes my story so much better.
What part of Texas?
I'm from so I always say Austin because no one understands where I'm actually from.
Yeah.
And I was not far from Austin. But if you really want to know, I'm from this really, 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 really small town called Rosanke, Texas. And I had a farm. I was a farm boy. Yeah. I was a farm boy, had a 60-acre farm, multiple animals. It was a whole thing. Yeah.
Oh my God, what?
There's layers here.
Oh, there's so many. I can't wait for this episode.
And I have a really crazy story about my whole family too. So,
Okay, I'm ready.
okay, well, first off, my whole family except for my sister is white. Let that sink in.
It's giving This Is Us.
No, exactly.
Were you so happy when that came out?
Girl, you don't even fucking know.
I love that show.
It's an incredible show.
No, like that's like my favorite show.
And they're the only show to ever talk about my life. They touched on so many things that I have never seen before. Representation. But like that was the first time in TV history that I've been watching, and I watch a lot of TV, that I felt like, oh, this is a show. And truthfully, I want more of that. I want more, abnormal families. I want more of this because it is actually quite common, but it's not as mainstream as everyone says or makes it out to be. And like, I think that, there's a whole lot we could talk about.
That's amazing. I just learned that, I don't think I can say the name of the show, but I just learned that there was this filming of the next season of something that a lot of the cast members were upset because they put the lesbian daughter with the lesbian couple. It was like just a whole family of lesbians. And I was like, that's not exactly accurate. It's interesting. 'Cause
Yeah.
my whole family was straight. Like, just because we're gay, you don't have to group them together.
And also, there's a difference between diversity and tokenism. And
That part.
like, that's my biggest thing. I used to be an actor. I started off in musical theater. Like, that was my thing. And like, you would be surprised at how many people just think, oh, I need a black person or I need someone other than white male. Instead of, does the role only require someone to be a certain, like, be white?
Yeah.
And like, there's a difference between
Yeah.
diversity because you have everyone coming in for the same role. Like I was very known for going into rooms that were very much only Caucasian, even though I would walk in and I would be the only black person and I would just be like, well, this fits me. Like I want to play this. And like there was a couple of times where I actually got that, but like then again, most of the time they would be like, why are you here?
Wow.
So like, but yeah, there's a difference between diversity and tokenism.
Yeah.
Like,
And I do think that they're still figuring out how to go about that in
oh yeah,
filming.
I mean, you can see in any
It's kinda
TV show
obvious.
right now, like
Yeah.
you'll see if they have like, you know, a white lead, right? They usually have some type of POC or, you know, some type of gender or non-binary person on their best friend or something like that. And it's like, there's never multiple white people anymore. It's like, it's very obvious what they're doing. I'm all for representation. I'm all for that. But at the same time, let's do it right.
Right. Like make it authentic, make
Yeah.
it feel real.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you think they did This Is Us okay?
I think so. I think it started off good. I
Yeah.
stopped watching towards the end because I just kind of was like, okay, now I'm just crying too much. But I
Because it hit home for you.
it was a lot. It was
Yeah.
a lot, and I was dealing with a lot of my family drama, and I was just like, I can't deal with it in my life and then watch it. Like I can't do that. But I think they did it really well. I think there was more that could have happened, but they had other characters, so therefore it got pushed to the side.
Yeah.
But everything they did, and I also know like Sterling K. Brown was very instrumental in making sure that they told the right kind of story. And he made sure he actually participated in a lot of the writings in the writers' rooms to talk about black people and their black experience and, you know, their beautiful black family that they had and then, you know, things like that. So he was very instrumental on that. And that's why I was like, oh, this is so interesting because a lot of people don't even realize, like, This Is Us. I remember it was like the first or second episode. They touched on one of the most groundbreaking things that you don't think about whenever you think of an adoptive family. But like my family, because they're all white, they don't know how to deal with my hair. And so my whole life.
I want to go into this so hard with you right now.
Oh, yes. I can go. Like
Please.
my whole life, I never knew what
I'm
to do
trained
with
in
my
texture.
hair.
This is my biggest pet peeve in the hair industry.
And so I was raised, there was so many things wrong where they killed our hair or they didn't know how to take care of it and I didn't know and all these things. And then, you know, it was just an ever-ending cycle of identity problems for me. And I think like that is one of the things that they touched on so quickly in This Is Us that I really appreciated because they really showed, like, I remember it was a pool scene and I don't remember the specific situations, but like they were talking and then like one of the, like Rebecca was like, I think putting sunscreen on her white kids and not on the black kid. And like there was this black mom that was just like, hey, you need to put it on the son too. And she goes, she kind of gets offended. And she's like, yeah, and like also like let me know if you need like anything. I don't remember the exact scene, so I might be getting it all wrong, but it was the gist.
I remember this.
And it was like, also don't forget to put so-and-so in his hair. And she was so offended at first. And like, how dare you do this to like tell me what to do with my kid? Like, ugh. But she came back later and it was like, you know what? Thank you. I would love to connect with you more and like get to know you more.
Yeah.
And that is something I wish my parents did. I grew up very isolated from my community.
Wow.
And then of course being black, adopted, and then add on the element of gay in it and then add in Texas.
Wow.
It was an absolutely awful situation to grow up in.
Yeah.
You know?
You are such a vibrant human.
Thank you.
You are so secure and so love. And I'm just so excited to get to know you more because I know so many people that have one side of this upbringing that you had.
Oh, girl.
Like mentally, like they're like still recovering from so much. So you're incredible.
Thank you.
Truly.
Thank you. Thank you. I have worked so hard.
I can tell.
And like, I just have always been that like kind of person that wants to be better. Like I have gone through the darkest of darks. I have done a lot of things I shouldn't have and done all these things. But at the end of the day, I can stand here today and say with full sincerity, I know who I am now.
Yes.
And it's just the fucking beginning. Like, you know, it's like I used to never think I was going to be able to say that. I was always playing other people's parts or saying other people's words or whatever it may be. Like I was always someone else's thing. I never had a place. And then I realized really quickly as I went through my life on my own, I wasn't put on this earth to be normal. I wasn't put on this earth to do anything other than fuck shit up, because I was literally, like, from birth, I was taken and put into foster care. So literally my normal life was non-existent.
You were never born normal ever.
No. So like once I realized that, like, and girl, I have been fired from so many jobs. Once I realized my power, people can't handle it.
No.
And I'm like, you know what? I don't even feel bad. Like, that's fine. You do you. I'm gonna do me.
Right.
And like,
you're supposed to be a leader.
I am a leader. I'm also able. One thing I will say is because of my upbringing, because of everything, I'm able to get into rooms that a lot of people aren't able to. Like you should see whenever I applied to a job, I worked at very fancy places where they had maybe one other black person, usually hid.
Wow.
And like I would come in for the host position or whatever, and they would be shocked.
Wow.
Because my name is Greg Driscoll. Like, that's a white name, right? Then they see me and they have a visual reaction. They're like, oh. And then they understand what that is. And then they have to like backtrack in their own mind before coming over to say hi. And I just have to sit there. And you know what? What I realize is my very presence challenges people. And that is what I've been put on this earth for. I'm not meant to do anything other than fuck shit up and tell my story. And that's all I want to do.
Live in your truth.
Amen.
Completely. Knowing that you are not meant to compete with other people.
No, I'm in my own goddamn lane. Like, I would love to meet someone in my lane. I honestly would.
That's how I feel.
It's a little lonely over here. But like, I know that it's going to be very few and far between.
You know what's fascinating about you and I? Because I feel like you and I have the same mindset and the same drive towards what we are seeking. I feel like I have to push down my confidence in certain rooms because people do the whole, oh, she's a narcissist thing. If I own my power.
Yeah, she's just obsessed
with
herself.
She's obsessed with herself. Oh, she's a pretty
just
girl.
hot.
Of course.
She
thinks
feelings.
She's all that. And oh my God, I just saw this reel that was like, isn't it funny how we tell people that are like societally gorgeous that they're ugly because we're fucking mad?
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yes. No,
and I was like, yes, because like people will always find a way.
They will.
You know what I mean? Like they're so tripped up when I'm confident because a lot of really pretty girls are, and I'm not saying I'm a really pretty girl, but like I am.
No, you're fucking hot.
Thank you. God, I'm so fucking tired of people.
Amen.
I've done a lot of work to
you are
get
hot
here.
Barbie.
It's giving alternative Barbie.
Yes. I'm a huge believer in there's nothing wrong with knowing you're the shit.
Nothing.
There's literally
it doesn't
nothing
matter
wrong
what you look
with
like.
And also Lady Gaga said it best. You know, whenever she's like, why shouldn't I say I'm talented?
Yes.
Like I'm gonna say I thank you. I've worked hard. I know it's good. I would rather take someone who is fully bad and knows they're bad than someone who thinks they're good and is actually bad. I don't care who you think you are. I just care about who you know you are.
Yeah.
Who are you? Whenever you walk in a room, what do you operate on? Who are you? Like, we are all still figuring that out to this day, every day.
Yeah.
But you gotta, I always say, you don't find who you are. You choose it. You find a little bit here, you find a little bit here, you do all that, and you say, actually, I like this thing about this person, and I want to find that part of me. And so you kind of add it all in, and it creates that human that you want.
Yeah.
And like, that's how I see it all. You know, it's not, you don't find it. Like, I don't think you find confidence. You just create it. Because in Texas, everyone's overly fake nice. Not in the way LA is. LA is like facade. But like in Texas, they want to get to know you. They want to, like, you can't move without someone being like, oh my God, what's your story? What's this? What's that? Tell me about yourself,
It's like
sweetie.
small town, like I want to know your business kind of vibe.
And everyone's waving at you at all times. I hate it. I hate it because I'm like, you're not actually caring.
LA, everybody's jaded. People have their walls up.
Exactly. Like, and I think that's one of the things that drew me to New York is like, no one cares in New York, you know, until they do. But like in Texas, everyone has to be so in your business. You have to be nice. You have to know thy neighbor. You have to do all these things. And like I always said, it's not that I'm not friendly. I'm kind. Like, I'm probably not the person that's going to come up to you and be like, oh my God, hi, how are you? Like, unless I really like your vibe, because I read energy first.
Wow, you and I are the same fucking person. It's so weird. Seriously.
No,
the amount of people that think I'm a bitch because I don't go up to them, and I'm very to myself in a crowd.
Yeah.
I go up to certain people, like you.
Yep.
I go up to certain people and I'm like, I can literally feel
and it's
your
immediate.
energy.
And one thing I've realized is like, that's not something to be afraid of or ashamed of. Like, that's us being able to read energy and know who is actually our vibe. So we don't waste anyone else's time, because that's my thing. I don't want to waste your time, and I don't want you to waste mine, you know?
Don't you also feel like it's because you also are such a powerhouse and you're kind of now drawn to other powerhouses because you came into your power and you can feel the people in the room that are secure, that can handle you. Yeah. I feel that way. I see people and I'm like, you can't handle me. There's no way.
Exactly.
I would eat you.
But it's also because I was bullied. Like, being bullied...
Yes.
Severely. Like, I was...
Me too.
Yep.
Fucked me up.
Fucked me up to this day. Still fucked up.
Oh, yeah. I've never been a bully. I've never been mean. I'm not a mean person.
That's good.
I think you could say the same.
I have a little bit of a mean streak whenever people push me. I'm
That's not mean, though.
I guess, yeah. But like...
That's like reacting to...
Yeah, I'm a reactive bitch. Like,
okay.
I always say this. Like, everyone
I've been reactive, too. But I think they're different.
I feel like you're probably very fucking iconic whenever you get pissed.
Oh, it's a whole thing. It's a show, girl.
I bet. Now I want to piss you off. How do I do it?
Oh no, I'm like, but I'm still like doing the share thing. I'm like,
she's still making sure her hair is perfect.
I'm still like acting like the cameras are on. I'm
flip
like,
your hair around whenever you're done? Like, I'm done.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, like even sometimes people don't take me seriously when I'm mad. They're like, you're just so fun to watch.
You're like, shut up.
I'm like, how's my hair?
Oh my God. Yeah, no, I wish I could say that.
Yeah, but it's harmless when I get mad though at the end of the day. I get mad, but then I'm like such a baby. I'm a Cancer moon.
Oh yeah, see, my sister's a Cancer, so.
I'm mad, but I'm like,
you start crying,
be nice.
And then it's all done. It's all
like,
done.
Are you done.
Everyone's like, okay, so are you angry? Or are you crying? Are you
crying?
Sad? You're like, both. All the things.
You ruined my makeup.
But yeah, no, I think bullying is one of those things that has given me the trauma shield of being able to read a room and like truly know who's gonna hurt me or not, you know?
So when were you bullied? In your childhood by other kids?
Literally my whole life. So they bullied me because I had white family.
Weird. People are so weird.
You know, and also where I grew up, all the black people were related to each other. So it was another layer to all of this, because not only am I already the outcast, but now I'm not related to anyone. So they're like, wait, who the fuck is this? Like, someone come get this man.
What is that? I'm not black enough for this side. I'm not white enough for this side.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I was literally that kid. And you know who my friends were? The Latinos. Latino friends. Like, that was my community. Like, I had like 2 friends, Sarah, Nydia, hey, shout out. And like, those are my friends. That was their family was my family. Wow. They allowed me to come in. They allowed me to, you know, be myself. Because they also understand, because they're not black enough for the black people. They are not white enough for the white people. And also in Texas, you're either black, white, or brown. There's no other factors.
Wow.
And also Asian people, I didn't meet my first Asian person until I was like 19, because there was none in my town.
That's crazy.
Isn't that insane?
No, that's insane.
No, I know. And like,
Wow.
that's the kind of crap I was in the boondocks, like Redneckville.
So literally just white, black, Latin.
Yes. Like
Mexican
Mexican,
primarily?
yeah. Mexican and
Wow.
Latino. But yeah, like,
Yeah.
and it was an extremely toxic environment for me to grow up in. And, and then unfortunately I also had a really rough home life. Like my dad was abusive and my mom wasn't like she was pretty much she was emotionally abusive, and she never knew it. And so I literally had no safe space, and that's where I started going to escapes. And I remember I tried music, and like I sang on a stage for the first time and I loved it, and I was like, oh my God. But you know what? I looked out into the audience and people are covering their ears and laughing at me.
Wow.
And that was in 5th grade. But it was just like literally the most traumatizing thing, because I was like so excited. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was singing fucking "You Raise Me Up" by Josh Groban at like in 10 years old or whatever at 5th grade. So I probably would have rolled my eyes too if it was someone else. But it was traumatizing, And like then I never sang again. It's really hard for me because it's like my Black experience didn't start until I was like 22. And that's how I consider it. Like, I was so, for lack of a better term, I was so whitewashed. I was so brainwashed into thinking that I wasn't Black, and I couldn't be Black. And I couldn't operate as a Black man, like, because this is
your brother Black?
My sister is Black, yeah.
Your sister is
Black? Yeah,
Black.
she is Black, and she is my older sister biologically.
So it's just the two of you. Mm-hmm. So why did your parents adopt you guys if they weren't prepared to embody your culture?
So this is a whole thing, and I'm going to touch on it briefly because
Yeah.
I'm not like the biggest proponent of adoption for adoption. I believe that if you're going to adopt and it's because you want to save, you shouldn't adopt. And I think that is the main thing that screws up.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I think one of the main things that my family, my parents really screwed up, and I think a lot of adoptees also feel, is like they were being saved and made to be better or grow up better or whatever. And most of these kids that are getting adopted have lived lives that the parents couldn't even imagine.
Right.
And like these are things that I think are never talked about, but it's so important that people understand, like, if you're going in just to save a child, that's the wrong mentality. You can't save this child. What has happened. You can't undo it, and it will be with them forever.
Wow, that's so powerful.
But what you can do is you can nurture. You can give them the love they may not have had. You can replace the love that they might have had that was bad.
Yeah.
You can do all these things. But going into it as a saving is ego. It's ego. It is
savior complex.
It is savior complex.
Yeah.
And it is a very toxic place, because what do parents do, even if they're not adopted? They go, well, I'm your parent, you're my kid. Now add on the layer, well, I saved you.
Yeah.
Do you know who you could have been without it? It's very, very, very not.
I'm literally imagining what your fights were like
it's just,
as a child.
It always comes back to it, like, and I'm not saying that my parents are awful people. My dad is, but my mom is not an awful person, but I just don't think she's aware of her trauma.
Yeah. She
And
didn't get it.
she doesn't understand it even to this day. And it's a constant struggle. And I've actually cut off all ties with my dad. Like now, like that was one of the main catalysts for this whole musical journey. But like, you just can't, whenever you're adopting people, you can't go in wanting to save.
What's the mentality somebody should have if they want to adopt? They just want a kid.
Want a kid. And maybe they can't have one.
That's my
Maybe
mentality.
they don't want to have their own. That's perfectly fine. But once you say, I want to get this kid because I want to rescue them. You ain't
Yeah.
going to save them from shit. And let me tell you, they're probably going to go and try to find those people anyway. Like, you're not going to save them. No matter how, in this day and age, social media is so easy. These things, you're not going to be able to control
Yeah.
alt delete this stuff.
Right.
So you have to understand, if you are going to adopt, make sure you're doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Don't save.
What was the draw to adopting Black children, do you think? Well, because my bigger question is,
Yeah.
I know people that have adopted Black kids that are white, and I've always wondered, because I actually am really close friends with someone that I've always joked around with being my sperm donor someday. And now I'm in a serious relationship, so it is going to be dependent on what, me and my partner want.
Yeah.
But if I was a single woman and I didn't have a partner and I was ready to have kids, this would be my baby daddy. Like, he and I are best friends. He's Black. I know that he's an incredible father. Like,
Amazing.
The most incredible father. I have seen him have his own. And we've known each other for over a decade. And I know that if my kids ever wanted to know who the other component was, this would be somebody that I would be proud to introduce as that person. But then there was that part of me that was like, but what would this experience be like, me being a white girl having a Black kid? Like, I just have always wondered, like, what is the outward response to that? And then just now that I'm talking to somebody that's been in that, what's your opinion of that?
I think, I don't know what their whole reason was for why they specifically got Black children.
Have you ever asked them?
It would be a very long fight.
Really?
I think so.
That alone would just end in a fight?
I think it would just turn into my mom being uncomfortable, and it would not turn out well. I don't think I'd get the right answers, or
sad.
I'd get bullshit. Because I don't even think she knows. I think a lot of the time, nowadays adopting a child, they have to go through classes. They have to go through all these things. Like, if you're adopting a Black child as a white person today, you have to go through classes on their culture, their hair, their
As you
things.
should.
Absolutely. But whenever my parents adopted me, they didn't have to do that.
Oh, wow.
So I got the shit end of the stick of that, and they did too. I'm not holding anything on them because they don't know what they don't know.
Yeah.
The only thing I hold against them, and the only thing I wish they had done better, was being around Black people. Because by them not being around Black people made me have a subconscious bias about Black people, and then I was getting bullied by Black people.
Wow.
So, and there's a show called Dear White People.
Okay.
I'm
gonna have to
on
watch it.
Netflix. And there's this character who, in like the first episode, again, first time someone said exactly what I thought. And he says, it's not that I'm scared of Black people. It's that whenever people are mean to me, they just usually happen to be Black. And that is such a thing for a lot of Black people. And this is, the reason why I say my Black experience started at 22, by the way. Because
I feel like all of this has to do with your music too.
It all comes back in.
I'm sure.
Yes.
That's why we're going into all this.
And so, like, when I was 22, I was in this production of Dreamgirls.
I love Dreamgirls.
I do too.
Are you Jennifer Hudson in it?
Oh, I wish. No, I was just a fucking background.
Tell people you're Jennifer.
But what's funny is I can't dance. Like,
Okay.
I can move, but some reason I got the part. And of course, my role was like so dancey. So I was already fucked on that. It's fine. Anyway, going back to what I was saying to, I was in this production of Dreamgirls. And Dreamgirls is all Black people.
Yeah.
At this time, I was very uncomfortable anytime I was around Black people because I was always like, when is the jig going to be up? When are people going to catch me? When are they going to realize I'm not Black? And so I did this production of Dreamgirls, and I was terrified. I was just like really slacking on everything because I was putting walls up.
Yeah.
And finally, the lead, she comes up to me and she goes, "Sweetie, what's wrong? You seem down, and I need to know what's wrong."
Wow.
And I go, "Yeah, I don't think you'll understand." She's like, "Honey, just talk." And I was like, "Okay." So I told her, I was like, I'm from this is my upbringing, this is my life, and being here is really stressful for me because I'm just waiting for people to not like me and to start catch me in a lie or whatever it may be. And she goes, and to call me white or whatever it may be. And she goes, honey, all the things you described, I went through too. She was like, I was called white. I was called Oreo my whole life because I wasn't speaking hood or I didn't have a ghetto anything. I was a posh black girl. So I was always the white girl.
Interesting.
And she was black as fuck.
Did
big
she
old black
come
woman.
from a white family?
Black family.
Black family, but now this is going into culture.
Exactly. So what I realized in that moment was what I was experiencing wasn't just my experience. It was also part of a black experience too. And by her opening up to me, I was able to she was just like, honey, you're in a whole room of black musical theater people. You don't think any of us felt like that? And I was like, oh, duh. Why am I weird? But she then once she understood, she took me in and she was like, hey, y'all, this is Greg. He doesn't get any of the references because his family's white. So if you're going to talk about anything, you got to explain it. And that was revolutionary.
Wow.
It was.
What an icon.
Absolutely.
What a matriarch.
And she, to this day, made me realize that I had my own biases, so much so that I wouldn't allow people to come in.
Wow.
And so that's where I say my black experience really begins at 22.
Wow.
Because that was the moment where I was like, okay, I can actually own that I'm black. Like, without feeling weird, without feeling ashamed. Like, I know that at the end of the day, my skin color is black, but I never felt like I could own it because of how I was raised, because of everything. So, like, that's why.
That's so beautiful. So what happened when you were 22? There was something that happened. Some big thing.
Well, I just did that, and then I started realizing, like, I can't push black people away just because I'm scared of being hurt.
Yeah.
And I started getting more black friends. I started getting more into the community. I started asking questions. I started just diving in. I mean, I'm a baby in the black community, but like I've realized that once I was more open, they were more open.
So that was probably one of the best years of your life.
Yeah.
22.
Also one of the most stressful, but like,
of course,
it was my first step.
It's like Pandora's box opened that year.
It was the first
Were you
step.
in Texas during that time?
No, I was in New York, but I flew to Florida because that's where the show was.
Wow.
So yeah, it was a whole thing. And then also I had to cut off my dad during that time. And it was just a whole bunch of identity problems because I started to learn who I was, and naturally things started falling off.
It's so funny hearing when people have these major aha moments, because in my own experience, I've realized that the aha moments are always leading to like the destruction of something, and then it's gonna like turn into this Phoenix moment. But that's why I was like, okay, he's on Dreamgirls. This woman just pretty much changed his whole trajectory. Now
I don't even think she knows the gravity of
probably
what she
not.
Just broke.
Maybe
my
she
whole
will
world.
if she listens to this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I'll send it to her.
But this always happens where like something major kind of makes you wake up. It's like the smoke screen is cleared, and then all of a sudden everything else is like a domino effect.
No,
like,
exactly.
You're cutting out your dad, and now you're like pursuing music. And
yeah, and like again, like, and through this time, I had met my boyfriend, and I was in a band with him, and that was a whole thing, and like it's been great, like doing that. But what I realized recently, and this is like within the last 2 years, really year and a half, is that I've always been hiding. Whenever I was younger, I was a tuba player. I did it real well. I was like one of the top tuba players in Texas.
Wow.
I played tuba like none other. But then I was hiding behind that giant thing. This is all right after the 5th grade talent show where everyone laughed and everything at me, right? Then after that, I started doing musical theater. And so I'm playing other people's roles. I'm speaking other people's words. I'm not really being me, but I'm not hiding behind an instrument anymore. I'm just hiding behind a literal skin.
a role.
A role.
Another script.
Right? And then I meet Brendan, my boyfriend, and we start this band, and it starts this whole new journey of something I never thought I would ever do. But
How'd you guys meet?
we met on Tinder.
Cute.
Yeah,
I met my partner on Raya.
Oh, wow.
Nobody has
Were
met
you on
anybody on
Raya, or
Raya.
were they?
We were both on Raya. I know.
Wow.
I know.
Oh my God. Shout out to Raya.
We're like the only success story. I hear these like people are like, oh yeah, Grindr, Tinder, and I'm like Raya, and everyone's like, no.
And they're
I'm
like, no.
yeah. We're the only ones.
Oh my God. Congratulations.
It's not just an industry networking thing.
Wow.
I know.
Wow,
And it was
okay.
like total. Anyway, it was really interesting because neither of us wanted. We were both just looking to fuck, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, same.
But
And here we are.
here we are.
Yeah, no, like, and so like Brendan introduced me to singer-songwriter world, right? And I'm like, I never thought I could do that. I was a Broadway dude. I was like a.
Were you in Miami?
No,
Tampa?
I was in
New York.
Yeah, New York. I was
Okay.
based in New York, but Dreamgirls brought me out to Florida for a few months. So I was
then
always back.
He was here.
He was in New York.
Oh, you're both in New
Yeah,
York.
because he's from Vermont. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, cute.
So yeah, and like we did this whole thing, and we started getting success with our band, and like all this, and only recently did I realize like I'm not hiding behind anything anymore. I'm hiding beside. And I started having this like urge to write my own songs and do my own thing because I've always been an independent person. And I started realizing I've never done anything by myself.
Wow.
Never, not a single thing, not a single project. I was always doing with other people, for other people, whatever you need, I'll be there. But I never sat down and did my own thing. And
Welcome to your self-worth journey, baby.
exactly. And this is why I have butterflies. Like butterflies became a huge thing in my life because I realized that during that moment, the last 2 years, I was in my little cocoon. I had to like really go into myself, really dive deep, really grab these emotions. And then I found songwriters and did all this. And I realized I have my own story to tell too.
Wow.
And that's what this project is.
So what is this project?
This project is my name, Greg, ! And it is me healing my inner child. Like simple. Like
I want to hug you. I love this.
no, but like it's literally that. Like I'm not like a very like personal person. I don't like opening myself up a lot, but this music is so vulnerable and honest that I feel like it needs that,
Yeah. What is the major inspiration behind this project? Like, is there a certain thing in your life that you want to touch on initially, or?
Yeah, the main thing in my life that happened with this was me cutting out my dad. I never dealt with it. It was one of those things that I tried to keep it as cordial as possible before I realized I have to do this. And then I realized really quickly, like, I never dealt with the emotions that came from it. I was very busy at the time, like, and I just dove into work and all these things. And I realized, like, I never talked about it to anyone. I never dealt with it with anyone. I just kind of was just like, and compartmentalize and move on. And I realized, like, it does affect me. Like, I don't have a father. And also, I have a weird relationship with family to begin with because of my whole situation. So,
With your sister too?
no, my sister and I are really close.
That's good.
Especially now we are like this.
Yeah.
We had a few rocky moments growing up, but like she and I are like, we're each other's bloodline. Like we're the only bloodline we're representing for ourselves. And she just had a baby and her first baby. And like, I told Annie, my sister, I was like, Annie, this is the beginning of our little family tree. Cause this is our first little bit because we were both ripped out of our lives. And like, this is our tree.
That's so
No
cool.
one can jump into this tree. It's just ours. Like the three of us, me, her, and her baby. So it's like, yeah, it's crazy.
So tell me more about this project. So Greg, !
Yes.
Is this an album? Is this a show? Like, tell me more.
First, my single, Human Being. I don't know when this is coming out, but it's coming out September 27th.
Okay.
And it's my pride and joy song. It's a big old indie rocky song about just being over life and just not understanding why people don't understand we are all human and we aren't perfect.
Yeah.
But we all have feelings. And like, it's just my anger and frustration and heartbreak and hurt all put into a song. And yeah.
This is so needed in this world today.
Thank you. I agree.
I love your story, and I love how you're able to create a song that embodies that, because this is where the healing begins for all people.
Truly.
It's realizing everyone has a different background. Like, I don't think anybody would look at you on the street and assume that you come from the background you come from.
And I was a country boy.
Yeah.
By force, but I was a country boy. I was
On a farm.
on a fucking farm. I was always a city boy, but I was forced to live the country life.
Do you know how to milk cows and shit?
I've milked one cow in my life, and I said never fucking
I'm
again.
done. And that is the moment he realized he was gay.
I was like, this is disgusting.
Yeah.
And also, like, no one tells you about the hair that comes from the udders that falls
Stop.
into the milk. Maybe I wasn't doing it right, but never again. It was traumatizing.
I don't drink milk, and this is why.
Yeah, no, it's not it. But yeah, so this whole project, like, it's starting off with Human Being, and I have a lot of other songs in the works, but Human Being is like the general song. It's just like, this is how I feel.
And it's kind of like a all-encompassing first song
Exactly.
as a solo artist.
Exactly.
Do you have a band? Did you do it yourself in your room?
I recorded it with my friend Taylor.
Okay.
And I wrote it with this girl named Julianne Hope. You might know her.
Julian, who's
Hope.
that?
Y'all have probably crossed paths at some point, especially with your circle, Naz's circle, everything. Julianne Hope.
Is she an artist?
She is an artist. She's also a producer. She's a songwriter here in LA.
Okay.
But
It sounds familiar.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say yes.
yeah, like she's really dope.
Okay, love
but
it. Hi, Julianne.
She and I just found her on Sound Better and
wow.
reached out, and she was having a crisis that day, sobbing, pushed my session twice, like a couple hours each time.
Wow.
And then she was like, okay, I'm just going to do it. And then she sat down, and I was going through a crisis. I'd been fired from my like umpteenth job. And I was just like, life was crashing around both of us. And we both just channeled all of that into Human Being. So
Wow.
that's the energy you get. So yeah.
Did you name it Human Being and then write it? Or did you write it and then you're like, it's Human
I was
Being?
talking to Julianne the other day, and we both were like, we don't even know how it came about. Like, I think we were just possessed by our emotions.
Magic.
And it just came out.
Yeah.
And it just, usually I write like title. I come up with like a cool title that I'm drawn to, and then I write from there. But like this one was just all about just how we felt. And I think people are going to really get that. And like, I've shown a couple of friends, and two of them have cried listening to it. And I was shocked, because I was like, I showed you other songs that I thought people would cry to, and you did not cry to those. But Human Being was the one. And I think it just hits that simple spot that everyone can relate to. And I'm really excited to release it.
Are you doing a show, like a release party? Oh,
I'm not
when?
doing a release party as of now. I mean, maybe I will. I don't know. I'm spontaneous like that, Gemini.
Of course.
But I am doing a show. I'm performing at Hotel Ziggy on October 4th.
Okay.
And that's where I'm previewing a bunch of my originals. And it's just me and my friend who's playing piano. And I'm just going to get really intimate and hopefully, you know, get it all out there. I'm terrified.
I'm so excited for you. I'm so
you.
excited for this journey.
I am
think
too.
that you are going to be the This Is Us of the music world, and
hope
you are
so.
necessary.
I agree.
You're needed.
I think, like, again, I was put on this earth to fuck shit up. So that's
you were.
exactly what I'm going to fucking do.
Yes, you were. Yeah.
know,
I feel that from you.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for you. Oh my gosh.
you.
I'll be at your show.
Yay.
Yeah.
October 4th.
I'll be there.
It's a free show, so.
What would you tell your younger self if you could tell your younger self anything right now?
I'm going to use this quote because I said it the other day and it blew my mind, because I was like, this is actually really smart. It's not the end of the world until the world ends. Period.
That's it.
I said that randomly in the car the other day, and I literally was like, no, we need to write that down. That's genius.
No, that's
like,
it.
It's not the end of the world until the world ends. Like, simple. And I was like,
I love that.
yeah.
That plays into my backstory of suicide.
Girl, been there
like
multiple times.
I love that. I'm gonna say that if ever I'm in that place again, which
It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Until the world ends.
I've always said save your tears for the stage, and find the art that saves you.
I love that too.
Find the art that saves you. Ballet was mine. That's why I returned to it. Inner child healing. It's a whole thing.
I love seeing you, a tatted up bad bitch in ballet.
Yeah.
That's such a statement.
I know.
Because ballet is so like prim and proper and perfect. Everything
I'm fucking
has
it
to
up.
be. And I love that.
Yeah. We get each other.
We get it.
I get it.
We're chaos
because
twins.
I'm not like. What's so funny is that everything that people tell you are in a negative way
is who you
actually be the biggest positive ever.
So I'm like really obsessed with branding.
Yeah.
And like I've gotten really into that, and because of doing all the artist work I'm doing, and I realized something. The things you're picked on for are the things you actually should be making money on, because those are the things you cannot change.
Yes.
So,
the things you're picked on for are the things that would actually make you a star if you just capitalized. Yep. People are like, you're chaos. I'm like, you're right.
Which is why Paris Hilton is a fucking icon.
Period.
And Kim Kardashian. We need a girl.
Fuck.
Fuck. We've been talking
really
for
quick.
hours, but like.
We're going to finish this episode off by telling you what we think of Kim Kardashian.
I love the Kardashians.
Same.
I think they're
I don't care. I'll say it. They're the best.
I hope to God people cancel me for this.
Oh,
Come for
please.
me, bitch.
Come for me for loving the Kardashians.
Here's why I think they're fucking iconic.
Get after
First
it.
off, let's just talk about the one and only Kim Kardashian. Okay, she's been wanting to be famous. The whole family is famous only because of her. We all know that. Everyone knows that, right? Her sex tape. Tell me another person that can come out of a fucking sex tape with a whole empire and now save people from literal death because of her platform. And it all started with a sex tape. Sorry, you can't get much juicier, better than that. Same with Paris Hilton. Same thing.
Yeah.
These are women that capitalize their sexuality.
Yeah.
These are women that weren't afraid of it. It's like Marilyn Monroe. It's like all these bombshells that we all love now. That's who we're going to be comparing Kim Kardashian and all these people to, because they own who they are, and maybe they regret it now, maybe they don't, who cares? But because of everything that has happened, they are now way smarter. You can't fuck with the Kardashians. They are literally the royal family of America, whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
And
I think people forget too that the Kardashians have so many sponsors, brand deals, people that literally run the shots for them. People think they're so in the control of their own image, but they're not. Like Balenciaga, when all that went down, everybody was like, oh, fuck Kim K for supporting them. I'm like, do you realize how much money they're probably paying Kim K and how many contracts she's probably signed to stay silent, to not speak on it?
Yeah.
There's legality involved in this shit.
Same with the whole Kanye bullshit. She can't speak on that.
She can't speak on certain things. Like, this is part of the industry that I wish people would wake up to. People are so quick to anger, and they're like, why aren't they not talking? And I'm like, there's legalities.
But also, do you notice how the people that complain the loudest are people in the industry that should know how this shit works?
Yeah.
Like, I get so frustrated with that. I'm like,
she doesn't have a voice, probably. That's a huge thing.
you can't speak on a lot of things because, again, your brand, your integrity, everything is at question if you do. So she has to be smart with it. She sneaks it in. If you look, it's there. Kim is a smart fucking bitch.
She is. Yeah.
And Chris also. The whole family is honestly, and also I
imagine Kanye West being your baby daddy and not being able to speak on how nuts he is. Imagine. My ass could never. My Leo ass. I would be like,
yeah. And anyway, hi guys. Let me tell you about my awful husband.
Right, like so hard. But I don't know. I just think that people that talk shit about successful women, it's very interesting to me because at the end of the day, you're talking shit about a successful woman. You're playing into the patriarchy.
Who literally runs this world.
Actually, it'd be like speaking about Beyonce. There's people who have the audacity to speak about Beyonce. I'm like, it's Beyonce. How many of you could say that you're Beyonce?
You don't have to like her, but you gotta respect her.
You gotta respect her. You don't have to like her.
I'm not a
you gotta
fan of
respect
Taylor
her.
Swift's music, but I respect the
Respect
fuck
the fuck out of her. Yeah.
Respect the fuck out of them.
Yep.
Like, she is a businesswoman.
Agreed.
Like,
Yeah.
impressive. Like, and I'm obsessed with that.
How many men has she eaten? It's amazing.
And successfully, 100% of them.
She wrote a fucking song about John Mayer. I'm like,
she just,
who can say that?
She keeps destroying everyone.
Yeah.
And being at the top. And I'm like, that's impressive.
You know what I just read about Taylor Swift?
Huh.
She just climbed the charts and has now taken over the position of Madonna being the largest sold out show in United States history.
Wow.
She's technically bigger than Madonna now.
Makes sense. She can't do shit.
Holy shit.
She can't do shit. She can't walk anywhere. She can't even look out her window without someone being there.
Yeah.
Poor girl. But
Poor girl.
you know what?
Yeah.
It's lonely at the top.
It's lonely. Yeah. And everyone's going to have an opinion.
Absolutely.
I respect that. And I'm so happy to meet other people who see it the way I do. Because I'm like, I'm not saying I like support their every move or like endorse everything they do. But I don't do that to anybody. Like everybody, I have a plus and a minus with how they move and how they do things.
Absolutely.
People's parenting styles. I'm like, I don't agree with everything you do with your kids, but I'm not going to speak on it. It's not my shit.
That's not my
That ain't my shit.
That's not my kid.
You do you. That ain't my kid. Guess what? I'm not in that position, so I don't fucking know.
Exactly.
Do I have millions? No, I don't. But
So
like,
I'm here.
maybe someday I'll know what it's like to be Kim K.
Ah,
Ask me then.
honestly, I can't imagine. Like, I think one of the biggest LA experiences is seeing a Kardashian in the wild.
Yeah. I haven't had that yet.
I
Have
haven't
you?
either. I want
Godspeed.
to. I want to see them.
Yeah.
You know, my favorite is Chloe. I
I
love
love
Chloe.
Chloe.
She's the sassy bad bitch of our dreams.
What I appreciate about them, despite all the things that people could say, is ultimately these are women who know what they're good at. They know what they're worth. And they're not willing to let anybody rock their shit to the point where they don't have everything they want. And I think people could at least take that away from watching how they move. At least take that away. Like, you could have anything you want in this life. Look what they did.
Yep.
That's it. Period.
And also, I also think that we need to give them more credit because they do not need to be working right now. And they all have 40 million fucking businesses. And I think we all need to understand that they are at the top of the top and they're still working.
Yeah.
They're still doing it with their 40,000 kids. Like, they're still doing it.
So is Beyonce. It's insane.
So
it's insane.
This is why put some respect on their name because you can't touch them. You can't fucking touch them.
Yeah. And somebody that says you can't do it all, they're saying it because they can't do it all. Mm-hmm. So that's the mentality I have too. I can do it all.
When there's a will, there's a goddamn way. And that's how you gotta be.
Yeah.
Because the only obstacle is you.
Yep.
And maybe money.
If you know you're an icon, then you're an icon.
You're a fucking icon.
Yeah, you're a fucking icon. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
Amen.
People are like, wow, you think you're all that. And I'm like, yeah, but like, I don't think I'm the only one that's all that. That's the problem.
Yeah, but I also think you are. And then flip your hair and walk away.
And with that,
amen.
That was your first podcast, bitch.
Yay!
I'm going to have him back.
Yes.
We're going to speak more on the industry and
There's
the
so much.
The shits.
The shits.
If you liked this podcast episode, please give us a like, follow, subscribe, all the things. And you can find Greg on, what are your social handles?
Everything but TikTok is the nerdy rockstar with an X. So it's ROXSTAR. And then my TikTok is nerdy rockstar.
Love that. Mm-hmm. And Greg, exclamation, will be dropping September 27th.
Yes.
And his first show is October 4th. If you're in Los Angeles, go to the show with me.
Yes.
DM me. We'll go together. We'll bring fans.
Yes.
I love you.
I love you.
I'm so happy you were on this. And you are a superstar.
You are.
Thanks, Bae.
You're welcome, Bae.
And the best thing is, we know.
Yep. And drop the mic.
And drop the mic. Bye, guys.